Quote, "The great dread the company of the ignoble, for the ignoble delight in the company of the mean." Meaning of the quote. At its core, this quote conveys a deep truth about human nature and the principle of resonance. The great, those who are noble in thought, elevated in character, and pure in intention, instinctively avoid the company of the ignoble, who lack integrity, depth, or moral vision. The ignoble, in turn, find comfort and pleasure among those who are similarly mean-spirited, petty, or self-serving. In essence, people are drawn to those who reflect their inner world. The great seek peace, truth, and virtue. The ignoble seek validation through association with others who mirror their flaws. There is a natural repulsion between those operating on vastly different levels of consciousness. Spiritual perspective. From a spiritual point of view, this quote expresses the law of energetic alignment. Every individual radiates a certain frequency based on their thoughts, values, and intentions. Those who aspire to truth, love, and self-awareness vibrate at a higher frequency, and they naturally feel disturbed or unsettled in the presence of deceit, manipulation, or baseness. Spiritual growth often involves detaching from toxic environments, not out of pride, but out of self-preservation. One who is sincerely walking the inner path understands that being in the presence of lower energies can cloud intuition, disturb inner peace, and delay the journey toward clarity and freedom. The great avoid such company because their spirit can no longer breathe in that atmosphere. The ignoble, on the other hand, seek the company of the mean because it validates their worldview. Surrounded by selfishness or cruelty, their behavior seems normal, even justified. Misery and bitterness love company, especially when that company echoes their cynicism. Scientific and psychological perspective. Science, particularly neuroscience and behavioral psychology, offers clear parallels. One of the most well-researched principles is emotional and behavioral contagion, the tendency of humans to adopt the emotions, attitudes, and behaviors of those around them. Mirror neurons in the brain allow us to unconsciously mimic facial expressions, tones, and even mood states. This is how toxic environments subtly rewire our responses. Additionally, the social proof heuristic, the idea that we determine what is right by observing what others do, can lead individuals to normalize unethical or harmful behaviors if they are constantly exposed to them. Over time, negativity becomes familiar. Conversely, those who have cultivated emotional intelligence and moral clarity are extremely sensitive to toxic environments. Their minds and nervous systems have been trained to value peace, kindness, and order, and so, in chaotic or petty company, they feel an instinctive rejection, much like the body rejecting a harmful substance. Let's bring this wisdom to life through a short story. The Lotus and the Swamp. In a remote village, there bloomed a single lotus in a filthy swamp. The villagers were surprised. How could something so beautiful grow in such filth? A traveler came and marveled at the lotus. "It rises above the muck," he said, "and yet its roots lie within it. But it does not absorb the filth. It transcends it." Years later, people began to throw garbage in the swamp, trying to test the purity of the lotus. Eventually, unable to bloom amid the growing stench, the lotus withered and vanished. The traveler returned, saddened. "Even purity," he said, "needs distance from decay." This story reminds us, greatness can endure challenge, but it cannot thrive in prolonged exposure to degradation. Sometimes walking away is not arrogance, it is wisdom. Application to daily life. 1. Personal relationships. Choosing friends, partners, and associates wisely is crucial. Those who gossip, lie, or belittle others often bring out the worst in us. If you're striving to grow, evolve, or heal, surrounding yourself with people of similar values is essential. As the saying goes, You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. 2. Workplace environment. In the professional world, environments that tolerate mediocrity, backstabbing or blame games will suffocate innovation and leadership. Truly visionary people often prefer solitude or carefully chosen teams over noisy, toxic work cultures. Protecting one's mindset is key to sustaining long-term creativity and integrity. 3. Digital spaces. In an age of social media, we are constantly in company, even when physically alone. The accounts we follow, the comments we read, the discussions we join, all influence our inner world. Just like in real life, it is wise to avoid digital circles where hostility, misinformation, or cruelty dominate. 4. Inner dialogue. Even internally, we host voices of kindness or criticism, hope or despair. The ignoble can sometimes be our own worst thoughts. Cultivating noble company also means aligning with noble thoughts within ourselves. Forgiveness, resilience, clarity, and compassion. The wisdom in this quote is both timeless and universal. It teaches us that true greatness is not just about rising above, but about choosing wisely where and with whom we stand. Elevation requires discernment, not just in action, but in association. In every moment, we have the choice to rise or to settle, and more often than not, that choice is reflected in the company we keep. Thank you for joining this exploration of wisdom. If this message resonated with you, like, share, and subscribe for more insights into timeless truths. Remember, every great journey begins with a single step, and every great idea begins with a strong foundation. See you in the next episode.